Hey, that's COCABO. And I'm outside the cooperative, COCABO. Here's their office and warehouse. And it's funny because across the road, I'm here in the town of Almirante, or the port really, is these massive containers with chiquita all over them. And chiquita, because of their history of environmental and social shortcuts and the way they go about their business, or have been in the past, quite notorious for some of their business practices. It's just interesting that on one side of the road you've got that, and then on the other the ray of light that is COCABO, a cacao cooperative that I've just visited. I met with Elma, who's assistant administration assistant here, a long-time worker. We had a good discussion about the cooperative and what they do here. This is a receiving area for the cacao, and the people that seem to be coming and going right now are a lot of producers. The harvest season recently finished, and so not much cacao is coming in. And the warehouse behind there is where they're bringing in the fair trade, organic, and also conventional cacao. It is fair trade. Not everything is fair trade certified, and not everything is organic. Primarily, that's, as Elma told me, it's really because of the amount of work involved for any individual producer. As much as they would like everything to be fair trade, it hasn't happened, but in future that could be the case. So it's a long-standing cooperative. It's been 60 years in existence. They also cultivate organic bananas for domestic market in Panama, and they export some other fruits to Costa Rica, but it's pretty much cacao. And those buyers are typically in Europe, because that's where chocolate really mostly gets made. And yeah, so the things I really got from this today, Elma's been here 25 years, so she's seen pretty much everything that can go on in the whole generation. And it's only in the last 6 or 7 years that they've been fair trade. She doesn't think it's done a great deal for the producers, because the way the market prices are, and they're actually quite low right now, she feels it's, in a lot of cases, it doesn't cover the cost of production. The workers themselves, I think, those that are in are happy to be in, and there are those that have stayed out, I think, because of, again, how much work is necessary to gain that certification. But there are benefits to being in the cooperative. There's a minimum price for cacao, like coffee, and there's a fair trade premium. And those things have helped. She won't deny that. Those things have helped. And the cooperative tries to keep their costs to a minimum. They're not a profit-seeking cooperative, so they try and give back as much as they can to the producers, but they still struggle a bit. Fortunately, I haven't seen any production itself, any cacao. More chiquita. There was a chance of that, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out. So I've only got to see the warehouse and a whole load of fair trade bags. But it's always good. Cacao is different for me. It's another new experience other than coffee. So it's interesting to compare how fair trade works in this particular way compared to, say, coffee. And definitely getting an insight into how buyers kind of the relationships that are involved here in fair trade, and get a little insight. There are not many. I think this is probably the only Cacao Co-op, fair trade co-op in Panama. So Alma did say they feel quite alone in that respect. The lone voice in Panama, which in itself I could see would be a struggle. So fair play to them for persevering with fair trade, and because again, like in Costa Rica, because costs are relatively higher, she feels the minimum price needs to be increased, and that's probably the key thing. Fair trade is good, but it doesn't do enough. So that's my quick summary of the visit today, COCABO.